Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Wills from West to East. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare this soup. It's a little bit unconventional, I guess. Haven't seen this done anywhere else other than in Bulgaria. This is a meatballs soup, which obviously contains meatballs made from ground meat, like that, mixed with some spices, vegetables, rice and other things which you'll discover in the next part. It's quite surprising, I guess, as a taste, because of the different kinds of meat and actually boiling meat in this way, but it's quite nice and very well suited for the a little bit colder periods when you want to eat something more warming. So I don't know what to tell you more about this dish. I'm just gonna leave you with the ingredients and the remaining recipe. Okay, the ingredients for this recipe. There's more or less two parts: the vegetables and which will be directly in the soup, and the meat for the meatballs. So yeah, meat, ground meat. As you can see, I'm using pork and beef here. Some salt for everything. Black pepper and savory, and rice, a little bit of rice. As for the vegetables, you can more or less change all this, but I'll be using an onion, some tomatoes, some potatoes, a carrot, celery, and the pepper. As usual, you can use the fresh version of the vegetables, or frozen one, or whatever you have in at home. So this is about it. And yeah, last thing, this is a stock, vegetable stock cube that will just add a little bit more flavor to the whole thing. And I think this is about it. To finish it, I'm gonna add a little bit of angel here. This makes for a nice texture and makes the soup a little bit more consistent. So yeah, you don't have to put it, but I like to put this thing in every soup that I make. It's nice. And yeah, I think this is it for the ingredients. So now we're gonna move on to the preparation. Alright, so the preparation. First thing, what I'm gonna do is prepare the meat for the meatballs. And I'm gonna leave it to the side so that all the ingredients inside can mix nice and give their flavor to the whole thing. So while preparing all the vegetables. So nothing complicated, just take all the things that you're gonna put in. So the savory, the rice. I'm not gonna use all of it. Don't need tons of it. As you can see, this is not my typical meatballs preparation, which I'm using for the grilled meatballs or pan-fried meatballs, because this is kind of different, and you don't use the same ingredients. I'm gonna add the salt here and the pepper. Last thing that will have to be added just afterwards is the onion. But for now I'm gonna mix this together and leave it while preparing the all the vegetables. Okay, so this is the mixed meat for now. I'm gonna leave it to the side. So next gonna peel the onion, peel the potatoes, peel the carrot, clean up the pepper and all that, and then it's chopping time. Alright, so you can see I've prepared all the vegetables now. I'm gonna start with the onions since it goes with the meat, and the rest will have to wait. So throw this thing to the side. Just chop your onion quite small as you can, because we're gonna be making very small meatballs for the soup. So if you have large chunks of onion, they'll it will be hard to make small meatballs, and there will be onions sticking out of it. So yeah, chop this small. Okay, so this is it for the onion. As I said, I tried to make small pieces like that, you know. Well, it's best if you have an electric chopper just to use it. But anyways, add this to the meat mixture and mix it well so that there's everything everywhere. And before moving on to the remaining vegetables, you should put a large soup pan, cooking pan on your stove filled with water, and set it to boil and drop your vegetable stock in it, so that the water can be almost boiling by the time you're ready with the vegetables. Okay, I've mixed the meat. I'm gonna leave it to the side for a couple of minutes while I'm taking care of the remaining ingredients. And as I said, I put the water to boil with the stock in it. So now I'll just chop all the remaining vegetables except the tomatoes. We're gonna add them a little bit later because they will boil too fast and lose all their shape. So start with the carrot, chop it in any form that you like and you prefer. Since you have a baby, I'm gonna try and chop it quite small so that the baby could eat it with the couple of teeth that she has. But yeah, just veg, please. And once you're done, you can add them to the boiling water. Okay, so the vegetables are now ready. As I said, I'm going to leave the tomatoes for a little bit later. Almost when the whole cooking is done, they don't really need any cooking time. So now I'm going to add all this to the boiling water and I'm going to start making the meatballs. Alright, time for the meatballs. Now, I've put some flour in a pan like this. Try to get one which is a bit high, like, or this high I guess, or a bit more, because it will prevent the flour from falling out when stirring it. So now for the meatballs, you just you take a little bit of meat and make a small ball out of it. Now, really make them small because with all the rice that we've put in it, they'll swell because the rice will absorb some water while cooking and it will swell, so the meatballs will actually get quite bigger than they look right now. And it's also nicer when they're small ones. So yeah, just make one like that and drop it in the flour and repeat the process until you've made all the meat into meatballs. Every now and then you should stir the pan here containing the meatballs to get them covered in flour all around. This protects them, and once they're dropped in the boiling water they will kind of stay firm together and not fall apart. So it's important to get them covered in flour all around. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna continue. Okay, so the meatballs are now ready. As you can see, they're all wrapped in flour and all that. And usually you end up with a bit of remaining onions like that. Now you can throw it away, or if you like the taste of onions, there's nothing bad about adding it just to the soup. This will just add some more flavor and little onion chunks. So add as much as you want or none, it's up to you. Just a matter of taste and if you want to waste some ingredients or not. So now basically what's left is to add the meatballs in the boiling soup. So just carefully try to slide them. Obviously you cannot just drop them all in because of all the flour here. The soup will turn into a stew, but yeah, just add all these. And one very easy way to know that they're ready is you just have to eyeball it a bit, and in a bit of time, depending on how many you have and all that, the meatballs will come to the surface. They will start floating. So this is basically an indicator that they're about ready, and you can proceed to the final part of the recipe, which will be adding the tomatoes and angel hair. So just add all the meatballs, stir them a little bit so that they don't stack too much, and that's it. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, and as you can see, as I told you, the meatballs will float. So you can see them right here at the top. There's quite a bit of them now that are floating. So this basically means that they're ready. So what we're gonna do now is just add the final touches. So I'm gonna chop all the tomatoes and add the angel hair in the mixture. Alright, then for the tomatoes. And the angel hair. Stir it all together and just leave it boiling for 5 to 10 more minutes maximum for the angel hair to soften up, and that's it. Okay, so we're done. It's time to show you the ready soup. So I'm just gonna serve one portion in a bowl. There you go. And if you like, what I like to do is add a little bit of seasoning, final seasoning, with some parsley. So you can just put a little bit right before serving. So this way it keeps a nice and fresh taste to it. So I'm gonna put this here so you can see it better. So yeah, as you can see, this is quite easy to make, and it didn't take long. I guess the whole cooking process is about 50 minutes more or less, and the preparation can be a bit tedious, when making all the small meatballs, but in general I consider this to be a relatively easy recipe. So anyways, I hope you like it, and see you soon. It was Twist.